Scene 1. The liminal space and beyond. Lights up on a couple as they awaken within the back rooms. Located in a liminal space where time is lost or more like still, a moment in time. We see a blonde-haired boy named Daniel waking up next to a Daisy girl named Harini. They both stare at each other with confusion, but an eerie feeling lurks between them that they both will have to figure out how to escape the back rooms together. They run around through the maze-like back rooms endlessly until they stop to figure out a cave.
I'm Daniel, by the way.
I'm Harini. You look like someone who's possibly nerdy. Do you know how we got here, but mainly how we can get out of here? The buzzing of these nasty overhead lights is driving me insane.
Wow. I mean, that's a very general stereotype, but okay, go off, I guess. I think there might be an exit stairwell around here somewhere that can get us out of here.
Lead the way then.
Daniel and Harini run and walk around, seemingly an endless loop as they try to escape this place. Harini starts to break down and cries at the thought of no possible escape.
Okay, please don't cry. I promise I'll try to figure this out. I know you don't know me and I don't know you, but we can get through this together. I mean, misery does love company, right?
You're funny. You should be more funny than serious. Haven't you heard life's too short to always be serious? Alright, do you have a pen? Let's make our escape plan.
Daniel pulls out a pen from his pocket and both he and Harini start to mark the spots they've been to, create outliers in their escape strategy.
Wait, I think I see the exit stairwell. See the exit sign?
Yeah, I see it now. Thought I would never get to leave.
Daniel and Harini run for their lives toward the exit sign, and as soon as they open the door, they see light and grass, and they realize they're in an alleyway which turns into a neighboring street into the suburbia, which is cars, but houses, they're all empty. As the scene ends, we see a man in the shadows overlooking a video feed of Daniel and Harini with multiple computer screens of them in different environments, including the backgrounds. He's typing and computing like he's running some testing. Scene 2. A frequent sharp pain lights up on a futuristic cityscape. Designers can use projections and lighting to develop it. We see the holograms covering every inch of it, and AI is at the epicenter of it. It's 50-50, and humans have left behind the remnants of planet Earth. We're currently in an exoplanet 100 light years just outside of our solar system. There's this coldness to humanity. A lack of connection has made humans into brain-dead robots, while social justice is a mythical topic that is discussed as a failed theory. The billionaires and their billions saved humanity from extinction. We see Daniel once again, but a different version of him, in a kitchen. It's dinner time and he's cooking. He's listening to music in the background while he cooks when he hears a knock at the door.
Hey, Har, how was your day?
Daniel steps away from his cooking to go and give a hug and express his affections towards Harini. They seem like a young couple in love.
It was good. I don't know, it's nice to be back in the studio after being sick for so long, you know?
I'm so glad to see you back at the studio painting again, Har.
Thank you for making the arrangements with the scholarship in the first place. What are you making, Dan?
Daniel guides her over to a stovetop where he shows her the capture of baby used for dinner. They bond, share laughs, and taste the food.
Okay, so what did you paint today?
I focused on flowers today because it would have been springtime now if we were back on Earth. I miss smelling fresh flowers.
Daniel pulls out his phone and clicks on an app, and a hologram of a flower bouquet pops up. He's smiling and waiting to see Harini be impressed by this, but she isn't impressed.
Dan, please don't do that. You know how much I can't stand holograms. I know you want to make me happy, but the shortcut isn't the way.
I'm sorry. I just want to make you happy. I guess I did take a shortcut to impress you, but you're right, I should have done that. I just feel like lately, anything I do for you just upsets you, Har.
I'm not mad at you, but when you do things like this, I feel like you're trying to buy my love.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to buy you. I just feel like the luckiest guy in the world to call you my girlfriend.
Harini suddenly gets a sharp pain in her head and starts to massage her temples to bring down the pain.
How long has the pain been back?
A few weeks now, but I'll be fine. They go away as frequently as they come.
Let me get you some meds to bring it down.
Daniel heads over to the medicine cabinet to find the medication for Harini, but has a solemn expression. As the scene ends, we see Daniel give Harini the medication and water, while he comforts her as they finish up dinner. Scene 3, a fault in the system. We see Daniel in a lab, testing on human subjects. We see some human bodies floating in water tanks, horizontal, upright. We also see him hovering over a bunch of computer screens. Horrifyingly enough, we see that the screens all consist of different liminal spaces with different liminal versions of Daniel and Harini. Daniel steps away from his computer and goes over to Harini's body lying on top of the sterile testing table. He starts to tear up while staring at her almost lifeless body. Her liminal version is using up the majority of her energy and soul. Suddenly, we see alarms beeping on the computers, and Daniel rushes over to see that Harini's body is glitching and she's starting to regain her consciousness. Her liminal version is starting to lose every 8-bit to every 8-bit. As Daniel scrambles to salvage the project, Harini all of a sudden twitches and awakens fully and looks at Daniel with a horrifying expression.
What is this place? Why am I hooked up with so many wires around me? Get this all off of me. What is going on?
Okay, I know this looks bad, Har, but I did this for us, you know? The life we always dreamed about, together and free from any barriers holding us back.
Have you been running experiments on me, Dan?
Daniel cannot look at her straight in the eyes and admit that he has been running his project's operations on her, as Harini's mind is more resistant to her ancestral lineage.
Dan, please tell me I'm wrong.
Harini starts to get emotional, all while she's taking off every wire that she's been hooked up to. Daniel is emotional as he's fighting tears running down his face.
How could you? I trusted you and I thought you would always do the right thing. You're a selfish liar is what you are, Dan.
Har, I'm so sorry. I will tell you everything you want to know and stop this immediately, but we have to get out of here right now. You're in danger.
I will never trust you again, Dan.
Harini starts to run for her life as she's trying to leave the facility, and Daniel's following behind her to try and stop her and explain when suddenly a loud alarm starts to blast throughout the building. As the scene ends, we see Daniel and Harini both run for their life as they're trying to escape the facility, similar to how they were trying to escape the liminal backrooms in the first scene. Scene 4, the choice. We see Daniel catching up to Harini as they both reach the end of the hallways with no escape.
Har, I know what I did was unforgivable, but I know an elevator that can help us both escape safely and we can leave for good. We can find freedom and make our own lives out there instead of being chained like this. I need you to trust me. Please, we don't have much time.
Daniel watches Harini as she's trying to make her decision. Harini is hesitant to let Daniel call the shots again, especially since that he's unable to deliver his project. Both of them are casualties. Harini nods yes and runs with Daniel towards their escape. As they run towards the elevator, alarms are still blasting off around them. They approach the elevator and Daniel uses his keycard to open it. As he steps in, he holds out his hand so that Harini can grab it. Harini is hesitant at first because she wonders whether she should trust the man who broke her trust in the first place.
Please trust me. One last time.
One last time, Dan. Don't screw this up.
They both enter the elevator together. They ride it sky high. As they get out of the elevator, Harini collapses as her mind is fully integrated into the simulated reality of the liminal spaces. Harini's body becomes lifeless as is her death in this world. Daniel is crying over her lifeless body, knowing his choices killed the love of his life. The epilogue. In the epilogue, we see Daniel a few years later, still heartbroken over losing Harini. He decides to go under sleep so he can die in this reality to be with the love of his life in the simulated reality of the liminal spaces. It works, and we see them running through the 8-bit fields like a couple in a daydream. They spend their days trying to escape the back rooms, discussing social justice issues, while Harini paints and Daniel performs science experiments. They do everything they did in the real world, but in the simulated liminal spaces too. Harini has no recollection of her previous life, but Daniel, however, remembers everything. This was the price he had to pay to be with her in this reality. In a liminal space, grieving for suburbia.
Okay, so what are we doing today, Har?
I was thinking we could go for a long stroll.
Sounds great. Everything okay?
I'm sorry, I just think it's so weird that we never run into anyone here. Like, it's just us, alone.
Who knows? Maybe we're in a parallel universe, you know?
In a liminal space, an abandoned mall. Another version of Daniel and Harini are running around and they're living life like teenagers at the mall, but there's no one here. In a liminal space, an endless swimming pool, as another version of Daniel and Harini swim around and live out this nostalgic days of being young and splashing each other. We see that all of these different versions of Daniel and Harini are in the hundreds of liminal simulated realities, and these versions are stuck here forever. We come back to the dream for a liminal space of Daniel and Harini once again.
Do you think it's a good thing to feel like we're in a parallel universe, Dan? Like, what if in another universe you're with some other girl who's not me? Or worse, what if we never even met, or our paths never crossed?
I would pay any price or do anything to be with you, Har. Just 5 more minutes, a week, a month, a year, a decade, an eternity, and an infinity. I would swim across seas and climb mountains in any lifetime, in any reality that I was given to always come back to you, Harini.
Daniel kisses Harini. They embrace for the brief moment they share here in this liminal space. As the scene ends, we see a man overlooking multiple screens. He's reading the numbers and seeing the The tests were successful in uploading humans into the artificially created liminal worlds, as the human population and humanity are currently in decline. Now we're going to be hearing from Karen. Karen, do you want the mic? Yeah. Okay.
Coincidences on the 505. Scene 1, the elevator at the Sackville condo. Ding, elevator's open. Jenny, arms full of textbook, steps in. Liam already inside, headphones around his neck.
Hey.
Oh, hi.
They stand awkwardly. Elevator comes.
Busy day?
School. You?
Work. Always work. Have a good one.
Elevator dings again. Liam steps out. Jenny watches him go, clutching her books tighter. Lights fade. Scene 2, chance encounters, neighborhood sightings. Quick flashes. Jenny and Liam bump into each other at Zuzu Cafe. Then again at Chinatown. Then again at Regent Park Community Center. Liam is polite but distracted. Jenny pretends to be surprised each time.
Wow, again.
Starting to think you're following me.
Jenny forces an awkward laugh. Audience sees a quick flash of her laptop screen at home. An open spreadsheet labeled Finding Liam _505. Scene 3, the spreadsheet. Scene shifts to Jenny's small condo with dim lighting. A bubble tea cup sweats on her desk. Jenny sits hunched over her laptop, the glow of the screen casting a soft halo. She opens a new Excel file titled Finding Liam _505.xlsx.
They say love finds a way. Sometimes all you need is a little finesse, like Excel tables that actually make sense.
She clicks down a few cells. The spreadsheet is neatly color-coded. She types,
Finding Liam, week 1, 7:30 a.m. Same hoodie, third time this week. Ooh, 1 p.m. Chicken shawarma, extra hummus, a man of exquisite taste. 5:30 p.m. Cha time, classic milk tea. 50% sugar with tapioca pearls. I approve. Saturday evenings, outdoor basketball. He's got game.
She sips her bubble tea, her eyes narrow with satisfaction. Jenny adds an Excel note in bold at the top.
Never initiate. Maintain an air of accidental fate. Not creepy, just data savvy, tracking your moves because you make me happy.
She clicks Save File. Scene 4, Snatch and Grab, 505 West. Crowded streetcar. Liam sits eating a spicy Jamaican patty. Jenny was nearby with an iced milk tea from Cha Time. They spot each other and share a small nod. Suddenly, a disheveled man jumps aboard, eyes darting. Before anyone can react, she snatches Liam's spicy patty and devours it in 2 bites.
Okay? WTH!
The man stumbles, coughing profusely. He stole it without realizing it was extra spicy. He scans the streetcar and lunges for Jenny's drink. Snatch. He chugs it down messily. He sighs in big relief. Ugh.
Hey, that was
Spicy!
The man coughs once more and stumbles off the next bus stop. Silence. Jenny and Liam stare at each other. Stunned, mouths open, they both immediately exit the streetcar.
best commute ever.
Totally normal. Happens every day, right?
Absolutely. I didn't know our food and drinks came with a 2-for-1 special and a side of PTSD.
You know, since we survived transit disasters together, want to grab a coffee sometime? One that doesn't get stolen?
Yeah, I'd like that. Let's take Uber next time.
Keep the TTC safe. Suspicious activity to a member of staff or a police officer. If you see something, say something.
The waiting room. Scene 1. The arrival. Lights rise. 4 people sit in a waiting room with high ceilings, peeling wallpaper, and flickering candlelight. A grandfather clock that's frozen in time, hand never moving, yet the sound of its ticking faint sits off to the side, and a cracked chandelier hangs above them. There is a receptionist desk in the far corner labeled Metaphysical Assessment and Afterlife Division, with no employee in sight. Outside, the window is a swirling, starless void. There is a faint ding, like an elevator chime, indicating their arrival.
That clock hasn't moved since we've been here. Comforting.
I'm supposed to have a meeting in an hour. Now the world will never know what a brilliant author I am. This is unacceptable. Do you think the afterlife has Wi-Fi? How did you bring that?
Your internet may be gone, but your vanity is immortal. Admirable.
Even Limbo should have proper check-in system. I demand a copy of the Afterlife Charter immediately. Surely there's a clause on liminal lodging.
Your laws are meaningless in a realm without cause or consequence. Fascinating hobby.
Without formal judgment, how is one to file appeals? There must be a tribunal, or at least a morally superior subcommittee.
How long do you think you have to wait here?
Patience is the womb of revelation. We are not waiting, we are gestating. And your optimism is statistically unlikely. Refreshing, in a perverse way. Our lives did not end. Its petals unbloomed like a flower awaiting the next spring.
Wait, that's good. I should write that down.
Nika pours 4 cups of tea and hands them out.
Where did you get?
Tea, we have chamomile, chamomile, peppermint, and a steamy cup of all-consuming regret.
Well, you know what I always say, to be or not to be.
What? That was Shakespeare.
Thank you, I'm a genius.
No, I don't think.
I once calculated the purpose of life. It was a rounding error.
The lights flicker and there's faint static. We apologize for the eternity-long delay. Your patience is mandatory. The 4 of them look at each other with different expressions of confusion, worry, unbotheredness, and optimism. Scene 2. Time doesn't pass, it loiters. Lights rise. The lighting has changed. A dull yellow-green, almost sickly. A low mechanical hum undercuts the silence. The coffee table is now set with 4 mismatched teacups.
Tea is served, steeped in nostalgia, laced with denial.
Jonah comes to himself while rearranging the teacups into a nonsensical array.
Oh, how lovely! This one smells like a memory I am yet to have.
Ethel paces, holding a worn contract and muttering.
There is still no seating order, and this document remains unsigned. What kind of tribunal operates without signatures?
Camilla holds her phone out, trying to get a signal.
Honestly, Ethel, your obsession with paperwork is almost romantic. Have you tried letting loose just once?
Time check, subjective. Sanity check, inconclusive. Perhaps the parchment is waiting to be worthy of you, dear Ethel.
Don't patronize me with mysticism. Law is clarity, not cryptic metaphor.
Anything can be a metaphor.
I am 94% sure this room is a metaphor. But the chairs are real. Probably.
The voice emits a low chime. Everyone freezes. There's an intercom crackle. Cue adjusted. Judgment pending. Estimated delay unknowable.
This is not a legal time frame.
Unknowable. That means it's close.
As of one said, time is the longest distance between two places.
No, you must have records, transcripts, any form of celestial documentation.
All files corrupted by existential ambiguity.
Silence falls. A light flickers.
This waiting is murder, and I know.
What if there is no judgment? Beginning on it, this may take several lifetimes.
The lights flicker before they fade to black. Scene 3. They wait, therefore they are. Lights rise. They wait seated in the same waiting room, but now dimmer, quieter. The light is cold and bluish like it's moonlit. A faint sound of ticking plays from nowhere and everywhere. In case of eternal waiting, remain seated.
You know, I'm quite good at waiting. I've had practice.
There must be a form for this, a ledger, a signature, something.
Your request could not be processed.
What? I lived my life by the rules. Where are the rules now?
No change detected. Awaiting further instructions.
Still no summons, no verdict, no conclusion.
Jonah taps on his wooden cane without rhythm.
Maybe eternity is the verdict.
But we lived, we erred. Where is the final statement?
No file found. No judgment rendered. Everything is in order. Nothing is resolved.
That's comforting.
Apologies. How is this? I'm not lost, for I know where I am.
Oh, you've read my work?
There is a low hum and an elevator chime sounds, but nothing follows.
So we wait for nothing?
No. We wait because that is all we know. There are only the questions you ponder and the silence that answers.
They remain seated and the lights dim to black. The intercom crackles and then there's a long beat, like a heartbeat flatlining. Do not attempt to leave the waiting area. The waiting area is all there is.